Hello and welcome back to another episode of the White Sox March to October. And today we're going to have the 2027 draft. But first we got to hop into a moment where we actually have to make a comeback this time. I feel like a lot of times this season we've been loading into a situation like this up a run. This time we're down a run. We got to see what we can do here right off the bat. But yeah, I'm guessing it's just going to take this one moment and then we'll have enough games simmed after this to make it to the draft. And I'm popping up with Colin Houck. I actually should have hit that pitch. That was kind of right there. But we're I think 70-24 going into this game today. So we're off to a decent first half of the season so far. And getting a win in a comeback like this, if I can pull it off, that gives you a lot of momentum, which would make our record even better. And sure, I'll take a 4-pitch walk from Duran, or for Duran, to Duran, moving the tying runner up a base, putting the go-ahead run on. Francisco Mejia's gonna drive everybody in? Okay. Did you see that swing too? It wasn't even that good of a swing. How did he hit that so far? His 10th of the season, 399 feet to take the lead, take a commanding lead now. We're up 2. And dude, with the draft being right around the corner, that also means the All-Star break. There's no easy way to see who from our team makes the All-Star game, but I want to see Mejia make it. I mean, until very recently, he was having to catch every single day, and he did it while putting up really good numbers. I think he deserves an all-star nod. They brought in this new arm and he can't throw a strike now. Ooh, and I just missed that with Lawler. That's still, no, I was gonna say it's still kind of carrying, but no, not even. All right, and then I am in a pinch hit for Nick Senzel, and I want to get Spencer Jones another shot here, man. He is, I mean, you saw it right there in his batting average, 184. He's struggling. I want to get at bats with him. I want to get hits with this guy. I need to hit pitches like that. And I'm not gonna do that, dude. I placed the PCI too high is what I'm trying to say, on a high pitch. How do you do that? I can't be mad though with what we did that inning. 3 runs to take the lead. Let's finish it now. We've got the best closer in baseball. Just give him the ball and let him finish the game. Actually, I don't like seeing his ERA over 3, but maybe that's just what comes with getting more usage this year than he seems to have ever gotten. And also, I have to bring it up because today was the day that Crochet got traded in real life, traded to the Red Sox. And like, I don't know, it's probably a good move. It's probably a move that makes sense for the White Sox. I can't be happy about it. It's just, I don't know. It's the fact that you got Crochet. He's proven himself to be good. He had a couple years left of team control, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me wishfully thinking. But I don't know, man. I hate to see him go, especially with all the bad luck that we've had with prospects and them not really turning into players that were as good as they seemed like they were going to be. It's tough to get excited about trading somebody good for prospects at this point as a White Sox fan. There we go. We blew it past Ellie at 99. And another strikeout for another save for Garrett Crochet. That's 31 saves before the All-Star break for Crochet. I think the highest he's had in any season so far in this March to October is 39. We also got 4 momentum fireballs for making that comeback win. And that's going to give us a nice fireball. Look, we started at nothing and now we're all the way up to that. So how many more wins is this going to get us here? We're going to Tampa for the last series before the All-Star break, and it's draft time. Now, I don't know. This may come as a disappointment to you guys that have been here for the first 3 drafts of this series, but I'm not doing it. I'm not putting on a suit for this one. I'm not putting on a suit for a game mode that takes away my #1 pick. I'm still salty about it. My #1 pick, the 5th overall pick in the first draft, all excited, all dressed up in a suit, and they took him away from me before I got to use him. So no, this is my protest. I'm not putting on a suit this time. And I know I didn't spend too much time showing my scouting as this year progressed, especially in comparison to the first 3 years, but I did find some actually exciting players that I scouted, so I added a bunch to this draft queue here. But at the same time, with this being our year 4 draft and the uncertainty of knowing how much longer this March to October is going to go, this will probably be one of the quicker drafts we go to. But we'll see. Maybe it's more exciting than I anticipate. So let's get it going here. We obviously once again have the 30th pick, but we also somehow got a competitive balance round A pick. I'm not sure where that came from. So our first 2 picks are happening like one right after the other, and I do have like basically these top 5 options all could be around that time in the draft. So it's just gonna basically be who's left of these 5 by the time we get there. And I'm always intrigued to see how like the CPU scouting works, because this dude Brian Klein, he's ranked 34th in like the general consensus, but me having him 100% scouted, we have him as the 6th highest ranked player in this draft. So like I feel like he's probably not going to make it to rank 34 or even to the 30th pick, but it's always interesting to see like what other teams know about some of these guys. I don't know, I'm already rambling more than I wanted to. Let's get going here. The Washington Nationals have the first overall pick, and it's going to George Cortez. I say that like I know who this is. I have no idea. We didn't scout him. He wasn't ranked too highly, so either the Nationals are stupid or they knew something. And then the second pick, I think this was the Rockies. The Rockies have had a lot of early picks in this March to October, and they take the dude who was consensus number 1. I scouted him a tiny bit, and we determined he was actually ranked 13th, but we also don't know too much. And then finally, I think it was the Cubs with the 3rd pick. So it's kind of crazy how far they've fallen, being our World Series opponents in year 1 all the way to getting a top 3 draft pick. But they take the dude who was consensus ranked 3rd overall, even though we had him down at 27. And I think those are the only 3 that get featured. Yeah, so now it's just the waiting game. And I personally don't like simulating, because I don't want to like simulate to my pick and then all of a sudden I'm scrambling to know what to do. I do wish, and I think I've said this every time, that there was an option to like instantly make the next pick. So like right now I could like spam X and get all the way through like the top 10 picks or something, instead of having to wait 10 seconds in between each one. Okay, so that dude that I was talking about got picked with the 15th pick. Another one for my top 5 got picked all the way up here at 8, and it really was only the top 5 that I want to take. Now top 3 with my first 2 picks, and the rest of my list is kind of for the later rounds. So I don't know what I'm gonna do if we have 2 of these 3 remaining selected. And it looks like at 28 another one of my top 5 guys got picked. So at least that makes my decision here easy. I was actually probably going to take that guy. I was going to take William Bong, because yeah, we had him ranked 23rd, consensus ranked 69. He would have been interesting. I mean, we didn't get him. We don't need to talk about him too much, but speed, potential power. But that leaves me with just one decision then to make, and I'm taking Aaron Derma. He's actually not even ranked overall, but we have him 100% scouted. He's ranked 33 to us, so I mean technically this is like a slight reach, but he's probably going to end up with an A potential. That range is 88 to 98. The starting overall might be a little low for a 21-year-old, so again, maybe not the kind of pick I want to be making when we don't know how much longer the series is going to go. But if we operate not thinking there's an end date for the series, which is how I feel like we should, I think this guy's the move here. So let's go ahead, let's make it official. Aaron Derma is our number 1 pick in the 2027 Major League Baseball draft. Now I just hope, because I only have 1 guy left of that original top 5, I hope he makes it the next couple picks. I might also take another look just to make sure there wasn't anybody I missed before I officially make the pick. And yep, it's my pick. He's still there. I'll probably end up taking him, but like I said, I'm going to take one more glance. But we have him ranked 42nd. He's a potentially high speed guy with a lot of contact. The potential and overall ranges are pretty wide though, so like it could be bad, but it also could be pretty solid. And yeah, after a quick glance, there's really nobody ranked nearly as highly as we have Kevin Montalvo ranked, so we're gonna go ahead and take him. And there we go. It's made official. All right, it's time for our round 2 pick, our 3rd pick. And I think I know who I'm going with here too. It's between these 2 catchers. It's almost like going all the way back to that first draft and trying to pick between Connie Kang and Chuck Glover. And in hindsight, I made the wrong draft pick there. But Jared Finch, the one I'm not taking, 19 years old, looks like he could be a really good fielder, nothing more than a solid hitter at best. And being that young and in high school, the potential, the overall windows, they're pretty wide, so you don't know where he's going to end up. But the guy that I'm going with, Jay Grimsley, you do know about him because he's 23. He's about the oldest draft pick you can make. But the potential is really high. We have him 100% scouted. We know it's going to fall in between an 87 and a 92. But we also know where his starting overall is going to be. And for a 23-year-old, starting at a low 60, that's not so great. But he's got a big arm behind the plate. He's a switch hitter that looks like he should end up being a pretty balanced hitter, maybe a little bit better against lefties. But it's just all going to be about how quickly he can progress and hit that high potential with where he's starting out. But I do think this is who I'm going to go with. And if we're not able to get Kang back, if we're not able to get Caro back, at least we do have a new catcher prospect in the organization. All right, well, it's time for the next pick. I wish I had more time to decide this because Jared Finch is still there, so I could just get both catchers and we'll see which one ends up being better. But with how wide the potential and overall window is for him, we still don't really know. And I just kind of happen to find this guy that I didn't scout at all. Just based on the fact that he's still here, he's probably not going to be as good as he potentially looks like he could be. And obviously the windows are wide for him. They're wide for the other catcher too. I already forget his name. Time's winding down. I want to take a risk. I feel like I always play it safe in these drafts. I want to take a risk. Draft somebody I have no idea about. Look at the flow. He's got the long hair. He knows what's up. He can't be bad. Imagine if we just like hit on that though. Imagine if he actually is like an 85 potential and like an 80 overall or something. All right, we got our 4th round pick, and I think I'm going to go with this Kevin Simmons dude, another guy who wasn't ranked at all, but we have him ranked 130. We're picking 135. We don't have him 100% scouted, but he should have a pretty solid potential. Somewhere between 74 and 89 is like pretty decent for a end of the 4th round pick, I feel like. Starting overall is going to determine a lot though. If it ends up on the lower end, that's not going to be such a good pick. But yeah, all of our middle infield prospects are no longer prospects. They're in the MLB now. So we got to rebuild that somewhere. So Kevin Simmons, you might be the future. All right, I'm going with another outfielder for my next pick. I only have him 50% scouted, but this late in the draft, I have him ranked 109. He's got the upper end of his potential window at a 98. I don't know how you can pass that up. Even though his starting overall is guaranteed to be in the gutters, he is only 18, and that potentially high potential window is just, it's too tantalizing. This is either going to be a really exciting draft class or a major letdown of a draft class. All right, well, final pick of the draft, the guy I wanted, Juan Ortega here, didn't quite make it to the end. Would have been another fun, risky guy, but we still have a potentially fun, risky guy here in Dean Rankin. Not as high of an upside, but he could be a really good fielding and speed guy. Another shortstop. So, I don't know. You don't really expect too much out of the final pick of the draft, Mr. Irrelevant himself. But there we go. With that pick, our year 4 MLB draft is complete, and I'm really not going to know how to feel about it until we get to see the ratings and the potential in a couple weeks time in games. So, and that's not until after the trade deadline, I think. But I guess that's that. We can move on. We'll sweep Tampa Bay, and now we're post All-Star break. We've got a full 5-star rating in the first half. We're shattering expectations. We're 16 wins ahead of the 58 we were projected to have at this point. We're ranked first in everything, except somehow our front office is only rated a B. And we're gonna play the first game out of the break. Got to win to keep the streak alive. And it seems like all I got to do is shut the door with 2 outs and the bases loaded. I'm going to hop into this. I mean, normally in the draft episodes, it's pretty much the game right before the draft and that's it. But I still don't know how much of that draft I'm actually going to show. And this is a quick moment anyway. All we need is one out with Crochet on the mound. We got a 3-run lead, and it's a lefty, even better. Let's just go ahead and get this done. I was gonna look at what's led up to this point in the game and all that, but it's one out. We can just get one out real quick. Oh yeah, we can definitely get one out real quick if he's gonna swing at that. Just one more. Get him chasing again, Garrett. Okay, maybe not that far. All right, the fastball will do it then. There's another save. He's up to 34 now. And man, I wonder, because after we got that final out, the commentators just were talking about the trade deadline and potential trades that would be made. So I wonder if that means we're also going to have another trade to deal with before we get out of here today. But first of all, we won another game. We kept our streak alive. We get our momentum a little bit higher. Not even sure what our winning streak was up to at this point. Oh, and this is popping up. We might see a trade pretty soon, guys, and it might only be one more. There's only like 2 weeks. That'd be like 2 weeks, right, left until the trade deadline. And we pick up a win again against Detroit. Oh yeah, we got to do draft pick signing. I'm gonna go ahead and try and get Jay Grimsley out of the way first, because he's already 83% interested in signing with us without me even doing anything. Also, his bonus demand is at the very bottom of what we could offer him, so I'm gonna bump it up a little bit. I guess that doesn't really change things much, but we'll have enough room. We're not gonna run out of money here. So let's give him that offer. And I don't know if I've ever seen anybody with that high of interest, even after the signing period has run its course and we've built up more interest. How does he decline? All right, well, I guess I'll go to the next most interested guy, but I guess nothing is guaranteed. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to bump it up by 1. And we do get this dude. We get Kevin Simmons. Did we draft 2 Kevins? I just realized that. Kevin Simmons and Kevin Montalvo, which I guess, speaking of the other Kevin, he's the next highest interested at 60%. I'm gonna do the same thing here, bump it up by 1, because actually the lower end is slightly below what he wants. At least that's what I understand is what he wants. So we'll offer him that. He's gonna sign. So what's up with Jay Grimsley being all greedy then? Looks like our last pick. Why is it saying round 7, pick 195? That was definitely the 6th round, right? So let's just do the same thing with him as we did everybody else. Bump it up by 1, get him signed. Next highest interested is Alex Mata. And it says we picked him in the 6th round also. All of these are like 1 round off. It's weird. I've never noticed that before. Is that how it always is? But we'll keep doing the same thing. Bump it up by 1. He signs. With everybody who signs, Jay Grimsley just seems more and more greedy. And then the last 2 guys we can't even offer a contract to yet because they're not at 50% interested. So we got to move on and come back to them. I mean, chances are we'll probably do that like right away. Actually, what I should have done, can I go back still? I can. Should probably move the less interested guy up to priority 1 so he actually gains interest. Actually, is there even a reason to like keep this Grimsley dude? I could move him off and then both these guys would be signable because 5% interest to Gallegos. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that in advance. We'll probably get right back into this like immediately. And yep, here we go. We did lose to LA though. Why are we doing that? Let's go ahead and try and sign our number 1 pick first. Do the same thing, bump it up a little bit extra, give him like $100,000 more dollars or whatever, and he's gonna sign. And actually his potential window increased a little bit because you also get a little bit extra scouting if you didn't have him at 100% in the signing period, and we didn't have him at 100%, and he got even better. So that's making me feel a little better about that pick. As long as the overall aspect hits on the upper end. I'd feel much better about it if he's like a 62 than if he ends up being like a 55. Speaking of that extra scouting though, I don't remember what Gallegos's potential rating was because he was the dude we knew nothing about. So I don't know if 86, no, I think it was 87 was the upper end and then 90 was the upper end of overall. So it did go down a little bit. I want to sign him though before I know for sure how far down it's going to go. I want to be surprised with whatever I'm going to see in that final screen. So we'll do the same thing, bump it up by 1. He's gonna sign, so all that's left is Jay Grimsley, Jay Greedy. But I don't know, we've got a lot of money left over. Let's get him all the way up to 100 so we don't have to deal with this anymore. There we go. Jay's here. All right, so no more signing to worry about. I almost said it right. We actually lost the series to LA. That's not good. We're going to have to check on that before we get out of here today because LA, the Dodgers, that was the one team that was kind of keeping pace with us record-wise. We're 78-26. they're okay. They've fallen back a little bit. We're 10 games ahead of them, but we also just lost a series to them. So, but all right, guys, that's where we're going to go ahead and call this one. Trade deadline next episode. We should be seeing our draft results next episode. And then from that, it's already the sprint to the end of the season. So as always, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that. But thanks for watching again, guys. Thanks for hanging out today, and I will see you next time.